I'm Troy Beverly, and this is Pan-African News. Zimbabwe. President Biden tries to spend millions on LGBTQ programs in Zimbabwe. The administration of outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden is being questioned by the new chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Republican congressman from the state of Florida, Brian Mast, why it is proposing to spend millions of U.S. taxpayer dollars on LGBTQ programs in Zimbabwe, where actions perceived as homosexual and same-sex relationships are illegal. Mast, a close ally of President-elect Donald Trump, who takes office on January 20th, argues that the LGBTQ programs for Zimbabwe the Biden administration is trying to fast-track before leaving office are incompatible with U.S. interests overseas, as mentioned by Sputnik Africa. In a letter dated January 8, 2024, addressed to Secretary of State Antony Blinken and USAID Administrator Samantha, Mast asks what LGBTQ awareness in Zimbabwe and climate change projects in the Middle East had to do with U.S. national security. According to New Zimbabwe, Mast writes, quote, "The American people sent a clear message in November that they will no longer tolerate uncontrolled spending on programs that are incompatible with the United States interests abroad. As their representative, I cannot in good faith allow you to spend millions of dollars to combat climate change in the war-torn Middle East or fund LGBTQI awareness in Zimbabwe. As such, I am invoking the long-standing precedent granted to authorizing and appropriating committees to place a hold on these funds before they are obligated," unquote. LGBTQ advocacy groups like the Gays and Lesbians Association of Zimbabwe, GALZ, are pushing for greater acceptance and awareness of their issues in Zimbabwe. Mast released a detailed report last month about how the State Department spends millions of taxpayer dollars around the world to spread liberal ideology, including $500,000 for a humanist group in the UK that promotes atheism in Nepal. Similarly, a $20,600 grant went to fund drag shows in Ecuador. A 2024 report mentioned that the State Department allotted grants totaling $3.2 million to LGBTQ organizations in 73 countries, while over $7 million was spent by USAID to integrate LGBTQ rights into its programs.